players lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 201. I am one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside he only does everything,
Whoa.
Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
The Tech Tower, Scott Lowe.
What's up?
And the Newshound, Jim Reilly.
I just got blinded by a light.
You got blinded by
Were
the
you
light.
revved up like a deuce, another runner in the night?
What?
It's a song. It's a song from before you were born.
No.
Jim, how are you?
I'm doing good.
You want to do the woof? Everybody always
No,
wants
I'm not
to.
doing
Come
the woof.
on,
No.
dude.
No, it's
Why don't
over.
you like the woof no more?
This dog's retired.
Why don't you like the woof no more?
Scott Lowe, would you like to do the woof?
What is the
Don't
wolf?
do the woof.
It's
Don't like
the
him on.
Arsenio Hall. Like he's the news hound, so he used to come on and go woof woof woof.
No, that's terrible.
That's good. I like that.
Terrible.
What, you saying I didn't do a good job, or
You
saying
didn't do a
it's
good
just
job.
terrible? Oh, okay.
No, you didn't do a good
Well,
job.
show me how
No,
it works.
I'm not going to
It's
show
done.
you. Just listen to past episodes.
Can we get Arsenio on? I'm sure he's not doing anything, really.
I think he's filming Coming to America too. Coming back to America.
Leaving America.
Did they say at the end of the movie?
I
thought he took that. I thought they went back to be with their brides.
I don't know.
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hungover podcast. We are, this is the hangover of episode 200. Episode 200, of course, the live podcast. We had 100 fans up in the IGN office.
That's pretty awesome.
We had Uncharted 3 here to play. We had tons of giveaways. Thousands of dollars, Colin, in
Thousands of
giveaways.
dollars.
Was it
in
really?
cash
In the thousands?
prizes?
Not cash prizes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There were no cash
Did everyone take all those prizes? Were they all taken? by the
Yes,
end?
I heard
Okay.
some Patapon tattoos were left behind.
Oh.
So not everybody wanted temporary Patapon tattoos, surprisingly.
They flocked around that table like a.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Once it was over and people just rushed up there. They
Yeah,
took
well,
it.
and you explicitly said not to. And they're like,
You know what happens. Most people got their stuff, I think. Most
Yeah.
people
Hey,
got
what,
good stuff.
what was some of your favorite memories from that show?
I liked the PlayStation blog crashing with a gong.
Yeah, the gong was
Yeah.
good.
Fact, Ray Gutierrez stole that gong after the show.
Yes.
He told everyone he was going to
Yeah,
steal
he
it.
did tell me. I thought he was
And then he
kidding.
really took it. Yeah, we
Yeah,
all thought
Whose gong was it?
we don't know.
Yeah,
We think
it's-
it was photo buckets.
Oh, I thought they brought that with them.
No.
no,
That
that's
was
been
some of
here
the stuff
forever.
that was shoved in the
Oh.
back there. Yeah, but got that. I like that
Damn
a lot.
it.
That was a good memory.
I would have gotten so much use out of that if I had.
We
one
went
of
to
those.
Eddie Rickenbacker's afterwards with a whole bunch of fans. A lot of great times there.
Yeah.
That, from what I remember.
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
yeah,
Then we had
we-
that fun cab ride.
We
home.
drank a lot home. We drank a lot to the point of where it was the drunkest I'd ever seen Colin, except for when he threw up on himself at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
And
Well, I also did that the
Yeah.
following year. So
on the way home, though, we were going, and yeah, as soon as we got in the cab, we were just screaming. Mike Mitchell's hanging out the window at one point, yelling at girls, and finally the cab driver's like, "Name all the states that their state name begins with the same letter as their capital." And the cab went dead quiet. For like 20 minutes, everyone's just like,
I was yelling,
Arkansas.
I'm like, Delaware. And he's like, correct. And I was like, okay.
Greatest cab driver ever.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was up to. Yeah.
Then I just laid down on the kitchen floor, and that was about it.
He said you yelled "Nasson" a lot.
Nasson.
Nasson. You taught me about Nasson.
Did anybody vomit?
Not to my
No,
knowledge.
I don't think so.
No. I'm sure some fans.
I had
did.
quite
Yeah.
that hungover Muni ride the next day, though. I almost vomited on the Muni. For
That was
sure.
no good.
Do
That
we
was
want
no
to
good.
appeal to help out the fan who got all his shit stolen?
Yeah, I mean, we're
I didn't
working
hear
on that,
about
aren't
this.
we?
Haven't.
Aren't we working? Well, hold on.
Well,
First
I mean,
off,
to the audience.
let's
I mean,
not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
Colin, what was one of your favorite moments from Podcast Beyond 200?
My favorite moment from podcast Beyond 200 was talking about my favorite moments of podcast Beyond. Isn't that meta? Yes.
That's very meta. That
No, it was
fun,
good.
though.
It was a lot of
Inception.
fun. There was a few great moments. It was fun to just walk outside and see the line, and I just everyone was kind of talking to each other, and I just screamed Beyond, and everyone kind of looked up, and there was like a second pause, and then just Beyond was screamed out very loud. Meeting the guy who was wearing a Northeastern University jacket, even though he hadn't even gotten into the school yet. That was pretty funny. Just meeting a lot of really cool people. A lot of names we knew, a lot of people we've known, the friends of the show that we haven't met in person.
Yeah,
Good to
that
see
was
people
that
we
was
know.
awesome.
It's also kind of funny how we just know some of these people now. I mean, obviously Mike Mitchell started out like that. And now it's a very good personal friend of ours.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like you see these people 2, 3, 4 times, and then you kind of know who they are, and you
Yeah.
know some of their names now, and it's cool.
It was great to put faces to names.
Yeah,
It was great. Scott Lowe, what are some of your favorite memories?
I signed somebody's iPad.
I was gonna
too.
say that's why I cut
Yeah.
myself off. I loved at the end when we just sat there and signed stuff nonstop.
Yeah, like, and I wasn't even really part of the podcast. I mean, I was watching, and I had a blast. But like, I was just walking around, and it was actually the dude from Tel Aviv who came all the way from Israel, and he apparently had just bought this thing, and I'm like I sat there like just astonished for like a few minutes. I was like, do you really want me to ruin this iPad too? Like, and then another kid had me sign like a Galaxy S smartphone, and I was just like, that's crazy. Like, I was just totally like humbled and blown away by that.
Yeah.
Even as somebody who's even like loosely affiliated with the show.
A lot of humble pie served.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. It was. I mean, it was almost. We did stand there for an hour and sign really hundreds of items.
Yeah.
And that was like really cool, but at the same time, it's like, how absurd is this? You know, I like go and I get a band to sign. I like go, wait online for a band or an author to sign something. Like
They're probably thinking the same thing.
Like, yeah, it's like I was going to say.
And then we went and got drunk and like hit on their girlfriends and wives.
But it was like at the same time, yeah, like it was very humbling. I was like, man, this is so funny. Like I said on the show, I'm like, I don't understand why any of you care about us, but we're totally honored that
Totally touched.
that you do, and we do our best for you. And I'm really excited about 250 going forward and 300. I mean, we have to get there, of course.
Well, it's scary to think about those. Yeah, like who's going to be around? There's some, you look back at this show and the history and how many times the cast has changed.
Yeah.
The cast has been pretty steady for 2.5 years, though.
Yeah, it's been good. But I mean, obviously, speaking of that, we have to bring up the fact that Ryan Clements has left IGN. No, I'm just kidding. He's on vacation.
You would. You should have let it go on
A little bit longer.
Yeah.
I can't. I let it. I teased him on 200.
You scared the shit out of people. Some people when you were acting like I was leaving.
Yeah, no. Ryan Clements is on vacation. He had a podcast on Hangover too, so he just went.
Yeah.
He had to go get his head straight.
That's
up in
okay.
New
Jim
York.
and I are here to kind of half fill the gap.
Jim, you watched the show?
I was in the live audience.
What was your
member.
favorite part? What did we do? Okay, you're an audience member. How was it? You're a hard critic.
So,
you're a hard guy to
alright,
sell.
so
You listen to a lot
I'll
of
say this
podcasts.
much. And I like Ryan Clements, but the Square Enix questions, those are a bomb.
Yeah.
No one got those.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the Rover Report was way too short.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
too
I
short.
mean, those kids came from around the country and the world. They came from around the country and the world.
The
Colin wants to make it longer, obviously, every time he does a Rover
the
Report.
podcast basically just turned into a Q&A.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind
But
of
those
what
were
we wanted to
that's
do.
what the kids wanted, right? They came all that way to talk to us.
Well, and I mean, we involved the live audience, like at home viewers too, through like Twitter and stuff like that. So I think it was a pretty solid experience. Because I mean, it was discussion pieces that people wanted to know about, anyways. So
I like the surprise guests.
Oh yeah. Sam
The
Bishop,
Sam Bishop,
Sam
yeah.
Bishop had a great introduction.
The PS blog,
The PlayStation blog guys were
And
good
then
too.
the Roper
Roper mail, that was great. If you missed episode 200, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, the video is finally live. I will embed it in the Podcast Beyond 201 article that you're listening to right now. You can also find it at youtube.com/IGN. That's the easiest way to go, and you can just pick it up right there and watch it.
I will say that overall, though, with the pizza, the food, the Uncharted, the whole thing was just awesome.
Yeah,
Good
it
presentation.
went off without a hitch.
Again,
It was
yeah,
great. We owe so much to so many people for making
Exactly.
that
Thank you, Sony, for bringing Uncharted, Naughty Dog for sending Uncharted, and so many goodies. Jellaskins. You want to?
yeah, well, no, I was gonna say something else, but not Mad Cats. PDP sent some stuff over.
Astro promised a headset.
They're gonna send it out to Danny, which is actually the point I wanted to make. Like, Danny's video at the end, I think was easily my favorite part of the podcast.
I watched that this morning.
Yeah, if everybody did, if you haven't seen it or you don't remember, Danny Wiesner, I forget how to pronounce his name. Weisner. Okay. He's the guy who does like player 2 press start. He debuted his new song, "The World Is Saved," at the end of the show. We put it up on YouTube because what happened is a whole bunch of Podcast Beyond fans got together and animated a music video for it, which was phenomenal.
in the span of like a week and a half. Or
Exactly,
something.
totally
it was very
insane
cool.
hours. Sam Allegro, I think, was the organizer on that. Put it all together. Thank you so much for that. Clements obviously did it too.
Yeah, I tweeted this, but I actually got kind of choked up watching that.
Totally,
I
me
did-
too.
I
yeah.
definitely did too.
And there were people crying in the audience. Like it wasn't,
Yeah.
and I've seen a lot of YouTube comments about that from people we don't know that were saying the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a combination of just the messaging of the song, which was really, really great, but also just sort of the whole experience of being there and
Totally.
seeing so many people come out from so far just
Yeah.
to be involved. It made me really proud to be part of IGN. So
Yeah, and be part of that community. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, the same community you, the listener, is a part of. Like that is
Yeah.
amazing that we have built that and are
Yeah.
able to be together. Remember,
Right.
you can see the video at youtube.com/IGN. You can also buy the single on the iTunes. You can
I
just
did.
search "The World Is Saved." You'll find Danny there.
Is the video separate from the whole podcast, or is there...
If you watch the yes, you can. If you go to YouTube, you can watch the video by itself, or you can watch
Okay.
the whole podcast and get it up to there. And if you just listen to Podcast Beyond 200, the song's the end, but you're missing out if you don't.
I will
watch
say
awesome video.
that the song touched a note with me, just because I understood exactly, and I wrote about this in the thread where Clements made a story about and embedded it about. There really is this sense of sorrow when you beat a really good RPG. Like, you don't want it to end, even though that's what you've been working towards the entire time.
It's-
And I totally related to that was exactly what it was all about. Like, you're just looking at this blank screen or the end or the credits rolling. You're like,
Yeah.
man, I didn't want this to really end.
That's why Demon Souls is so awesome. It just never ends. It just keeps going.
I liked Portillo's appearance in the video.
Yes, yeah. If you haven't watch the
I
final
missed
frames
that.
and try to pick people. There's
I
me
was
playing.
I was just looking for myself the whole
Yeah,
time.
I'm
so.
playing with Portillo next to me. Colin and Ryan are on a couch with Jim Reilly playing a game. They both have reactions. Jim Reilly's just stone faced,
Yep.
like real Jim Riley would be.
Yep.
Yep.
True to life.
All right. Well, it's time to set out on our next 200 episodes. So
Yes.
why don't we start this one with what is and forever will be the Roper Report? Time for some news.
I'm reading it today.
Oh yeah, you
right.
gonna put some curves on this, some spins.
No. I don't think there's too much spin.
Okay.
I've been lessening the spin. It's becoming very balanced. It's like the CNN of Roper reports.
Oh, okay, fair and balanced.
Going legit.
See, the one problem is this microphone. Like, you can't put it in front
Colin
of you.
is still bitching about
still
the
bitching about
new
it.
mic
You just
podcast
gotta
setup.
nestle it.
I bet you he'll also be bitching by episode 400.
That'd be awesome.
About something else, I'm sure.
By then we'll have hologram mics and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, probes.
So number one is a new firmware update is available for PS3. Firmware 3.70 adds something new to the XMB, a TV video services tab that consolidates all of your video programs like Netflix and Hulu. Additionally, this update gives new goodies to PlayStation Plus subscribers. PS Plus users can now set their PS3s to sync trophies automatically and automatically send saves to the cloud. Previously, both were done manually.
It's an awful idea, by the way.
Awful idea.
Cloud save.
What do you
Having
mean?
exclusive firmware update
Oh right,
to
that's
PlayStation Plus.
I
Terrible idea.
mean, yeah.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Terrible idea.
This is what people said about automatic updates too, right? That this because you can update your system, you can have it where it turns on in the middle of the night and downloads any things for anything you're playing. I agree that I think this one, automatically syncing trophies, is a bit more flagrant in the fact of this should probably be available to everybody. Like it's not a huge deal, but how many people play the game and don't even sync their trophies, never pay attention to this stuff? You know what I mean?
But I don't know. On the one hand, I think it's kind of shitty for people who are not subscribers for PlayStation Plus. But it also, I mean, from the perspective of somebody who does subscribe, like it's like, what are you exactly getting? Like it adds you, these kind of like feature updates actually kind of incentivize it a bit more and to make you feel like you're actually getting something for your money. I mean, I know like there's a lot of other stuff offered,
Yeah.
but like that is a feature that's much more valuable to somebody like me. Like I'm like this would be awesome and worth paying for.
I mean, I agree with it. I'm a subscriber. I'm happy
Yeah.
it's there. I mean, obviously Colin and I sync our trophies like madmen, so it doesn't matter. But like the updates and stuff and like backing up saves and stuff, that's all cool. It's just like, yeah, I can understand from somebody who hasn't plunked down the money, which is
I
foolish.
think the people that care about trophy syncing are already PlayStation Plus members. I think this creates a very slippery slope going forward. When we're going to have new updates, they're just going to put them on Plus automatically. Like cross-game chat, probably going to be a Plus feature if they ever roll it
I
out.
honestly never think you're going to see cross-game chat.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think that ship has sailed.
I will say this, that I understand what Jim's saying in a sense. Like, you don't want to kind of cross the boundary in which things that should flagrantly be free aren't. But like I've always said, I think that the model for services like PSN and even Xbox Live going forward will be fundamentally free. And I do think Xbox Live will eventually be free on the next
I don't think
console.
so. They just made $1 billion last year.
Yeah, but it doesn't. That's
not going free.
The point I'm trying to make is that like with what you pay for with Xbox Live or what you don't pay for with PSN, the second PSN charges you to do things that you really should be able to do for free, like just play a game online, that's when they've crossed the line. In the meantime, they don't have to do any updates because the service is free, and so people that are paying for it should get the perks. And I think PlayStation Plus is just getting better and better and better. Like I think PlayStation Plus is so worth the money now.
I don't think it is.
Especially because it's still 15 or 16 months for a $50 investment. And you get a bunch of free games.
Colin and I bought it day one, hour one of it going live with our own money, not expensed or anything, and I've never regretted it. And I'm not one who's like often like download, like I've never really been blown away by the free games that I can think of, other than I guess
Shatter was free, but
what about, was stacking free right away? I think stacking was too.
Stacking was free and early, I think.
Right.
Or maybe just early, but like that, Mushroom Wars was free. Burn Zombie Burn was free. I mean, there are good. I mean,
I'm not knocking the
Shatter's
games.
definitely the best game that was free, but I think it's cool. I mean, even being able to download those old Genesis games, as shitty as most of them are, is pretty cool. I think it's a good service. And I think that one of the great valuable things about PlayStation Plus is the discounts too. Like I bought,
I did Mod Nation Racers DLC, stuff like that.
Yeah, but like when they had like those 10 great games that were on sale like a couple weeks ago, and none of them got scored lower than like a 7.5. I bought, like all the episodes of Back to the Future for like $7 or something like that. The Blob game I bought.
Yeah.
Pixel Junk Shooter 2. I bought like 4 games for like $17. I mean, you can't really go wrong.
I don't pay for coupons.
But I don't really buy a lot of stuff digitally, games wise.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I think like features like this and the new firmware update are something more valuable
Are
for
you
a different segment of the audience.
So have you already been using automatic updates and stuff like that, or is this something you're getting on board with now, you think, for getting your trophies up and going?
Yeah, I mean, like to be quite honest, like like I haven't used it at all really, but I'd be more compelled to, because like every time there is longer gaps between when I've been firing up my PS3 these days, and when I do, the last thing I want to see is like you gotta sit through this update, because I mean my home internet is terrible, and it totally dissuades me from playing anything.
Gotcha.
So.
Our good friend of the show here, mdog2438, he writes in about firmware 3.70. He asked what we thought about it. Obviously, we've already covered that. He thinks it's awesome. But he also says, Colin, you said that your plan is to pass Greg in trophies. Was to sync a huge amount of trophies at one time. How does this affect your plan?
Well, I'm not going to actually turn on the automatic syncing because I do like syncing seeing where I was and then seeing where I am and kind of knowing where I've been. Like, this kind of just does it automatically, and like you just look at your profile and it is what it is, and you don't really know like where you were or like how much progress you made. So I'm actually not going to even turn that feature on, and I'm not turning the cloud save feature on either because there's only 150 megabytes worth of space that could fill up really quickly.
Well, you can do it on a game by game basis, so it's just one of those things.
That's true, but I'm almost out of space anyway, and like I have a bunch of like legacy saves in there. I'm not really using anything current, and I actually kind of have to go in there and crop some stuff out. But the big news, of course, on that front is that Greg and I have found out that we got new debug firmware.
Stop right there before we go, because there is news on that, and I want to link it to this question. Beyond. This guy is Matt. He said, I've heard you guys talk about PS3 debug consoles, but I've been wondering what exactly a debug console is and what makes it different from a normal PS3. Debug consoles basically run burn discs. So, like, instead of having to wait for Sony to press a bunch of discs for Ratchet & Clank, Resistance 3, anything, they can send us a burnable, rewritable Blu-ray that we can then put in and play straight away from there. Now, the catch is, of course, that there's debug servers, so we're not getting online with it. We used to be able to have a trick that we could go in and fool the debug into going to the real PSN servers that normal people are on from their retail servers, or like we're on at home with our retail things. But then when the hackers struck, that got turned off. However, the other day, Colin, what happened?
So we got new, we have to update our firmware on debugs manually, meaning that we have to, plug a dongle into the computer and download it off of a special Sony site. But what we realized when we plugged it in was that we could sync our trophies again, and it was very exciting. So we have all these debug trophies that we haven't synced up. Have
you synced yours?
No, not yet. I'm gonna wait.
Greg, didn't you get some heat from that with Dead Rising?
There was a threat. We had our Cuban Missile Crisis a few hundred episodes ago, where I had Dead Rising, and I was able to get into the developer menu, which basically I could have just said, "Give me all the trophies," and they would have given me all the trophies. So I threatened to do this, and Colin and Jack stood tall, and we signed the trophy Armistice.
The great trophy Armistice.
Armistice, yes, that's right.
Armistice, yes.
Colin, I'm almost level 10 in trophies.
That's impressive.
So you're gonna add me as your friend list?
Oh, sure. That actually reminds me, too. I know people have been asking. I will make new trophy rules. I know I was supposed to do it before episode 200 as far as friends list stuff or whatever is concerned. I'll be in Germany next week, so I won't be here. But the week after that, I will have the rules set up, and we will figure it out. And the criteria is going to be you have to be a certain level. And
I think level 10 is a good level.
Yeah, I think level 10 is probably good.
Level 10,
yeah.
Does this then negate the whole 1 week of activity if you're? No,
okay. It doesn't. I'll probably do 7 days of activity. But other thing, I want people that actively listen to the show. I'm sure I have some people on my list that just know my name or have seen it and I'm friends with them, and that's cool and great, but I want to connect really with the Beyond fans. So we're gonna have something where you email me or get in touch with me, let me know who you are, and then we'll sort it out that way. And there'll be like 15 or 20 people that won't get deleted no matter what.
Jim, I love a good trophy talk. We've been having a good one right here. Before we switch back to whatever number 2 is in the Roper Report, where are we right now in your multiple platinumings of Demon's Souls?
We're still at 2, only 2 platinums.
You have 2 in the bank.
I have 2 in the bank.
Okay.
I've not gotten the third one.
Have you started the third one?
So, no. Just to
okay.
shorten that up. No. I'm waiting for a European version.
Okay. Colin, up next on what is and forever will be the Roper Report is...
Number 2, Twisted Metal has unsurprisingly been delayed.
Unsurprisingly, huh?
Yeah.
I thought it could have made it.
I wasn't surprised at all because I suspect this game's going to get a beta, and we would have already probably heard about it. Originally slated to come out in early October, Twisted Metal will now launch for PlayStation 3 in early 2012.
So sad.
Starting to pack 2012 now. Or starting not to pack it. Just put games there, I guess.
It's totally fine. Look at all the games that are coming out. I mean, that's so bad. Dude, Resistance 3, Dead Island, Rage.
Dead Island, really?
I think Dead Island looks cool.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not holding out hope for...
Resistance 3
is 20 on a 10-point scale.
Uncharted comes out.
Yeah.
Skyrim comes out. Assassin's Creed.
Batman. It's a big year.
It just means we won't know the results from our bet until Twisted Metal comes out.
Yeah. Well, maybe Uncharted will do so well that it'll just sew it up right there.
No, it won't.
Everybody remember that there was a steak dinner on the line between me and Jim, much like the Valve one that I lost a few 100 episodes ago. And this one is basically, I have bet that all...
First month sales.
Jim says that the first month sales of Gears of War 3 will beat a whole bunch of PlayStation exclusive combined first month sales. Yeah. So there's Uncharted, Twisted Metal's on there. I have a whole
You're out of your mind if you're going to include...
Twisted Metal, Uncharted 3, Resistance.
I got the whole list. Wait,
so first month for those games and first month for Gears?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Gears versus everything. It's Gears versus everything else.
Okay.
You saw the save on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so it's the combined first month sales of Uncharted, Infamous, Resistance, PlayStation Move Heroes.
Infamous 2.
Yeah, sorry. SOCOM, Twisted Metal, Motorstorm Apocalypse.
I'm feeling pretty good about that bet.
All right.
All of those games you think will or have already sold worse in their first month. Then
Combined.
Gears will.
He's
combine.
saying add all those numbers of the first month together, and Gears of War 3 will still outsell
No,
all of
there's no
that
way.
combined.
There's absolutely no way.
Gears 3 is going to do 2.5 million copies.
And
First
you don't think all of those games combined are going to
Nope.
do? Uncharted's on that list.
Uncharted
Yeah.
will do like maybe 1 million.
What did Infamous
I
do?
think-
Do we know like a rough?
300,000.
Okay,
You're crazy.
so I'm halfway there, right? Isn't that how math
Maybe.
And
works?
this is American sales.
I thought we. Let's
Because
see
I
if
think
we.
you've pretty much
I
already
think,
lost that.
I
bet
think
if
we're
you're
doing
talking-
American sale. Yeah, just
We'll keep-
NPD is our only.
Yeah, U.S. Okay,
Yeah.
so how I have it in here is Steak Dinner.
No.
GOW 3 first month sales outsells combined U.S. first month sales of, and then I listed all those games.
Okay, well you're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy, dude.
No.
It's a fun bet. I like this. I want.
It is a fun bet. You're going to win by like over 1 million units though.
No, it's not going to happen. SOCOM hasn't even hit 100,000. Was
Well, was
Ratchet?
anybody really betting SOCOM 4 was going to be the
The only
Mine are all drop. I know that most of mine are drops in the bucket, and then you have like the Uncharted and the
Yeah.
Infamous. That's where I'm getting my big numbers.
Infamous is like 300,000.
Yeah.
Resistance probably do like 250 maybe.
We'll see. First month that'll be tough. Yeah.
All right.
What's next?
Number 3, a multiplayer beta for Assassin's Creed Revelations is coming to the PlayStation Network. PlayStation Plus subscribers and Uplay members can download the beta on PSN beginning September 3rd. It will run through September 11th and will contain 9 characters, 3 maps, and 4 modes.
Nice. Same thing that happened with Brotherhood. Remember when they had the exclusive? Everybody, yeah.
I saw that. I was
Yeah.
like, well, then we are. Wait, that was the other one.
Yeah.
Damn, it's every
Every
goddamn
year now.
Ah.
Every year there's a PlayStation Plus exclusive for that.
Should we keep moving?
Yep.
Number 4, THQ has shuttered 3 more studios.
Wah, wah.
Mere months after closing Chaos Studios, the minds behind Homefront, THQ has closed Blue Tongue Entertainment, THQ Studio Australia, and THQ Digital Studio Phoenix. Approximately 200 jobs have been lost as a result. Blue Tongue most recently worked on The Blob. THQ Studio Australia most recently did Avatar and Megamind, and Studio Phoenix is most famous for the MX versus ATV series. So those are all dead, I guess.
THQ's in trouble.
Are they now, Jim?
They're in trouble.
What does that mean?
I bet you in the next 6 months the CEO will resign.
Wow.
Yep.
Are they going to close? Remember, they got close once. Didn't they get close once, bro? A couple of years ago,
I
I
don't
want to say.
recall specifically what
I wanna
was
say they
going
were on the
I think
border.
they'll just get bought up like Warner Brothers, and then they'll just take the IPs that they
IPs.
want and
SmackDown,
then,
UFC.
and then, yeah, like Darksiders, and then
Homefront.
I don't know,
Homefront. Yeah, they'll take Homefront.
and then they'll just shutter all the other ones.
Wow.
Yep.
Sad day for.
Well, I don't know. I forget if you said that they're ditching their casual games.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
in
that
there.
was kind of, I didn't write it, but
Okay.
that's kind
Yeah,
of
that was the leading headline.
They're
Right?
basically putting all their money in their
Original
in
IPs.
in their core IP, and it's not going to sell. So I don't know. Saints Row 3 is basically it. If that game bombs, they're done.
I'm looking forward to Saints Row 3.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. Beat people up with dildos. Why
Punch
not?
people and they explode.
I don't care about that series. Whatever.
It's just going to be a fun run around crazy Grand Theft Auto world.
Yeah.
Next.
Yep.
Number 5, Disgaea 3 has been confirmed for Vita. Improvements have been promised as the game is ported from PS3 to Vita, and all the PS3 versions DLC will be bashed with the Vita version from the start. There's no release date yet, but NIS America has promised that it will come out both in North America and Europe, in addition to its obvious Japanese release. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I'd play that.
How much did you pay for it?
$30. How much? 30.
If it was download only?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I want download stuff. I don't want to carry
Everything will be
around.
available
I don't
download.
want to carry
I
these
keep
little
forgetting. I
memory
keep thinking
cards and
it's
crap.
the UMDs.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Scott Lowe.
Yeah.
What's going on with Vita? Where is it? Give it to me.
Well, here, like I think that last week with the discussion about Kaz, coming out and saying that 2012 is when it's coming out in the U.S. Like, I've been thinking a lot about it now because I've been really, really bummed out because I wanted to see it this year. And I wanted to ask you guys: have you heard anything like have you gotten like an official statement outside of that report that he said that in an interview? Has that come out at all?
No, that's actually a good point.
I know. I saw Patrick Siebold retwitter it, and he wouldn't retweet it if it wasn't true.
Gotcha.
I mean, that makes sense to me in a sense. I mean, just from a production standpoint, it seems like maybe they wouldn't be prepared. But I mean, how many units is this thing going to sell anyway? And I'm excited at Gamescom. I feel like we're going to get the exact release dates.
Yeah.
So if not TGS, but I'm assuming Gamescom.
It's one of those things where I want it as fast as I can get it. However, there are a gajillion games coming out this year, and you just got that suitcase thing that plays my PS3 if I want to carry it around my PS3. So I basically have a
game's
Vita
G155,
ready to go. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's an interesting thing about Patrick Siebold saying that, but I was kind of hoping that they would he was misquoted or that it was a deliberate ploy.
That that was picked up by basically every major network, not just games, but tech blogs and everything, they would have come out and said something, and they wouldn't let that sit there if that wasn't true.
Well, you know,
I was kind of hoping that they would surprise everybody and do something at Gamescom, but it's probably not likely. But anyways,
that'd be awesome if they
would
came
make
out.
them seem unorganized.
Fooled you! It's out tomorrow.
yeah. I mean,
It's like the Saturn.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a very slim possibility that they didn't come out and like kind of put down those discussions because there's a larger strategy at play, but I doubt that's the case.
Well, I mean, when Kaz says something, you're kind of like, well, we can't, say Kaz is wrong or Kaz is misquoted or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I would expect them. I would expect them to have said something, but like.
And he didn't tell just one outlet. It was like to a room of reporters.
Yeah.
In Japan or in Tokyo. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad.
Anyways, I'm a little bummed by that. Do we know if it's region locked? Have they said yet?
The rumor, I don't think we've ever had that confirmed, but I've seen stories saying it isn't.
PS3 is not region locked.
Correct. And I could have sworn we'd see. I know for a fact I've published stories that are like, is it region locked? This
So we're
says
all
probably
ordering
not.
Japanese models?
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna import them.
We're gonna import the hell out of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy extra ones just so I can make shoes out of them.
All right, I can stop crying so much.
And I'm excited about importing them too, because like Greg and I have been talking about doing more coverage about Japanese games, like just random Japanese games
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It could be fun.
For more Vita talk, though,
Yeah.
I'm going to plug my podcast.
Oh, okay.
Last week, we did an episode where we kind of talked about where Vita fits in the market, in the smartphones and tablets sort of thing. It was one of my favorite podcasts or episodes of the year, so check out Tech Fetish.
Can you give us a tease? Can you give us a tease of where?
Tech.
If Sony keeps their expectations low in terms of number of units they produce and distribution, and they go modest in their investment in it, I think it has a place, in terms of, offering a new level of kind of immersion for mobile gaming outside of like smartphones and tablets that isn't really being explored, but it really has to be marketed and sold in a very specific, very compelling manner that I'm not exactly confident.
I'm curious to see what happens with the price on that.
I don't think they can go any lower.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think they have to.
I don't think they have to if they market it right, and I don't think they can without taking a huge loss. There's a lot of tech in there that just they can't drive the price any lower.
Speaking of tech, ladies and gentlemen, Podcast Beyond is the conversational podcast, and you're invited to be part of it. So you should email us at beyond@ign.com with your questions and comments, like Simon did. He writes in and said, I've heard Greg saying recently that he can't wait to play multiplayer games over the 3G connection on the Vita, but I've also heard that the 3G will be only used for internet, social media, PSN Store, etc., and will not be available for multiplayer gaming. What gives? Well, here's the thing, Simon. I'd imagine everything you just said is correct. I don't think you can play games over the 3G.
It's not fast enough.
Exactly. So I'm assuming I'm talking, I don't know where you're referencing. I'm not saying I haven't said it because I talk out my ass all the time and immediately forget what I said. I would bank on what you're saying though. But I'm saying, I'm looking forward to like trading gifts like they're talking about, like stupid things like that where I'll have it in my pocket and be on the road and check it out that way is what I mean. So,
I wouldn't be surprised if turn-based games were available for 3G connectivity.
It's stuff like Scrabble or whatever. I think
Real-time multiplayer is possible, but very, very sketchy. I don't think they'd want to limit the experience, or they'd want to present that kind of unstable kind of experience for real-time stuff.
That's disappointing though, because I guess technically it makes sense that you couldn't play a game like a first-person shooter or something over the network, but when they announced NGP and they talked about Call of Duty, that's what immediately came to mind. I'm like, can you imagine having this thing where you can play Call of Duty on the train? Like with people from, obviously the network wouldn't be cool, but that would be so cool. That was kind of the realization of what I was hoping where this was going. But that was before we knew the more of the technical details about the connections and stuff like that. Well, and we haven't heard anything about that Call of Duty game at all.
Well, and PlayStation blog actually posted a video about Ken Levine.
BioShock.
Talking about BioShock on the NGP. And
We're hosting it on IGN too.
yes. And one of the comments he made that I think is really kind of a key selling point of the Vita is that it is capable of doing shooters unlike any other handheld can. He's like, that's one of the things that has been lacking for me. It's like, you can't do it on the DS, you can't do it on the original PSP, you can't do it on the iPhone or anything like that. Like, this is the only handheld that can do shooters and do it well. So,
Dual sticks, bro.
yeah, if they capitalize on that, if that's a marketing point, they'll sell shit tons of them.
Yeah. It should be. If you're listening, YoSP.
He is.
Okay, enough of that. All right. We know.
Is our obsession getting a bit too much
a bit.
with Shoehead?
You have a framed picture of him. It's a bit. It's a bit.
That was funny though.
He's a very attractive man.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't picked up on any of the PlayStation conversation videos we've put up, go watch the most recent one. Just Google or YouTube or IGN. No, go to Google or YouTube and put in the easiest platinum trophy IGN.
Do you think
It's a
he's
good video.
listening
I think
now?
it's a good video.
Yeah, I know he's listening now.
Hi.
Hi.
Um,
Hi,
I
Shoehead.
love your work.
So let's go over the last two and then we'll be done with this.
Oh, sounds good.
Number 6 is, and this is just kind of an interesting piece. I think some people would be interested in. You're a Mod Nation Racers fan.
Hell yeah.
Over
Yep.
at the PlayStation blog, San Diego Studios is giving gamers the
San Diego.
gamers the chance to help them name the upcoming Mod Nation Racers game on Vita. You can do so on the newest MNR blog or post on the PlayStation blog. Freebies have been promised to the person who comes up with the name the studio chooses. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool, but I mean, it's
wonder
going to be
if
hard to pick that winner, right? Because I can't imagine you're going to come up with a name nobody else has come up with.
Yeah, but I guess it's the first person to fix your glasses.
I'm rubbing my eyes. I feel like I have gunk in my eyes.
I like that you're so passionate about that. Fix your glasses, goddammit.
Real quickly, what would you name it?
My Nation Racers Vita, probably.
Mod
It's
Nation Racers
the
3.
Vita game. Is this what this
Yeah,
is?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mod Nation Racers 3.
Where's 2? I don't understand.
2 is a PSP game.
Why'd you skip 2? No, that is not true at all.
There
There was Mod Nation Racers PSP, and there was Mod Nation Racers PS3, and there wasn't. That's how they were called. There was no.
I know, but I'm saying there are two. I'm not saying that that's not what they were called. I'm saying that there was already 2 of them.
Okay.
They're 2 different games.
Yeah.
So you want
True.
to skip the actual numerical 2?
Yeah, why not? It's like when you have a son and you name him Scott Jr.
Mod Nation
But then
Racers
the
Junior.
next, when he had a son named Scott, it's Scott the Third. Yes?
I'm naming mine Mod Nation Racers, and then the E in Racers is going to be a 3.
But they're gonna save that for Mod Nation Racers 3 on the PS3
No,
or 4, whenever they get to it.
I think it's more of a Vita game anyway.
I'm not sure we're gonna see much more of that series, to be honest.
What? No way. You guys are
No,
crazy.
PS3.
Oh,
I think
no,
it's
we'll
done
get
on
another.
PS3.
You're gonna get another
Nope.
Mod Nation Racers PS3.
Nope.
Guaranteed.
Jim Riley bet.
Okay.
Want to bet steak dinner on it?
How many
God,
steak
how many
dinners
steak
do we need
dinners?
to
You got
have?
all
I
the
mean,
steak
sure,
dinners
but
on one
what if they all
You're-
come together at once?
Your cholesterol
culmination.
go
All
through
right.
the roof.
So and now, so you're saying no more Mod Nation Racers?
There will never be a Mod Nation Racers PS3 game.
Like a sequel.
a sequel.
Yeah. Not a game like you can play on Vita then play on PS3. Just no PS3 exclusive.
There will never
Mod
be
Nation.
another disc-based mod.
So
Well,
no MNR2, you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, I'll take that bet.
Yeah, I think that's...
Steak dinner.
that's
We're shaking hands.
Wait, I'm confused. So you're saying
I'm putting it on our bet list.
no Mod Nation Racers on PS3 before the end of the life cycle? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
never gonna happen
Okay.
Like, you
done.
think it's basically dead.
on PS3.
Okay.
Well, does that mean? Are you saying that because you think PS4 is sooner than rather than later?
No,
or
I'm
are
just
you
meaning
saying-
console. It's going to be strictly a handheld,
Oh,
I see what you're saying.
like Valkyria
Okay.
Chronicles.
Yeah, that really worked out for them.
I'm just saying.
All right, number 7, the final one. This is just an interesting little announcement. A game called Beat Hazard Ultra has been announced for PSN. Based on the Beat Hazard games on PC and Xbox 360, Beat Hazard Ultra is a twin-stick shooter based entirely around custom soundtracks that you create. The game is set to come out in September. The game looks really cool. So
I like
wanted to
that it
bring
just
up.
reads it off my hard drive because I have all
Yeah.
my music on my hard drive. That'll be a fun one.
It's very, and
Oh,
you
you're
can
Taylor
use
Swift.
their soundtrack as well.
Exactly.
Like, the game is supposed to be completely unique, but repeatable, and I like that. So it means that like if you use the same song, the stage will be the same. It's not just like kind of a hodgepodge of crap or whatever. So it's kind of cool. You can make we could take Transistor for instance, the entire album, and make a game out of it. Which is
What was the
kinda-
one PS1 game where you could Monster Rancher, where you put a CD in and it makes the monster off the disc? The information.
That sounds
That
right.
sounds
That
vaguely
sounds right.
familiar,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Anyway, that's all I was gonna say.
That's it.
All right, Ryan, what came to the PSN this week?
I'll tell you what came to the PSN.
Oh, thanks, Colin. Because I honestly haven't looked it up yet. I don't
Nothing
know.
came to the
No,
PSN.
Comic Zone.
Yeah, all right. So
Comic
if you're a
Zone.
PlayStation Plus member, you get Comic Zone free and exclusively.
Booyah.
Far Cry 2 is available for like a retail download for $30.
Gee golly whiz.
No PSP
One of the
games,
very
no-
few downloadable games.
Yeah, there's not many. No PSP games, no minis, no PS1 classics.
Oh, that's easy.
So
See, now you don't get mad about the
And
no
no
minis. Don't get mad about the no minis because Jeff Rubenstein
Yeah.
was here. His wife couldn't make them by herself. herself.
That's true. And there was no retail games either this week.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's a bummer.
Is he
It's a bad week.
Is it getting ready for the deluge of games coming?
Yeah, there will be a deluge of games coming soon. I don't know if they're getting ready for it. I don't know if that's even necessary. They just kind of come in a box and you send them to the store.
So yeah, topic of the week. We've been having good conversations.
Yeah,
We should
yeah.
probably just roll right into it. But I'll toss here in our little floating segment at the end here. Well, it's not a toe actually. It's actually it's the return. I'm blowing the dust off a segment.
Okay.
Hit of the week is
Oh,
what it's
wow,
called,
yeah,
ladies and
so
gentlemen.
that,
Hit of the
like,
week.
years.
PSN ID Iraq Iroxas IRAQIROXAS says, no one's been hit of the week for months, and I need 2 multiplayer trophies for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which I've been trying to get since last November. So please, Beyond Crew, make me hit of the week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's your hit of the week. Everybody go and PSN friend Iraq Araxas, IRAQIROXAS. PSN hit confirm.
Oh, the helicopter didn't get shot down.
No,
Yeah,
I can't do it every time.
Okay.
And we're just dusting it off. So many kids don't even remember this. So many kids are listening right now. They got the babes ears. They don't even know what hit of the week is, Colin. No idea.
true. That's
Know
a
what's
good
happening.
What are we moving into now? Reader mail?
Yeah, why not? Remember, if you want to be part of Reader Mail or Podcast Beyond in general, beyond@ign.com. And then we'll sort through and we'll answer you some questions. Thanks to everybody who wrote in, thanking us and congratulating us on episode 200. Lots of good stuff. One person wrote in, whose name I don't have in front of me, but he's the one who got robbed.
Yes.
Scott Lowe, tell the story.
Sorry. Yeah.
I know, I hijacked that.
Well,
But-
explain this to me. I did not hear of this.
I want to say Kalen, is that his name?
Yes.
Caleb Lawson?
No.
No.
A fan, Kalen, came to Beyond 200, had a nice camera, interviewed me for a while, walked around, had a great time, won a
Super
bunch of
nice
stuff.
kid.
What do you
Won a
look
bunch
like?
of stuff.
Lots of stuff, like a MacBook Pro.
No, he said, what does he look like? I'm trying to think of
I thought he
who to
said what
describe
he
him like.
looks
Remember when
Caucasian?
Urkel came out of the thing and he was
Stefan.
Stefan
Stefan,
Urkel?
right,
That's what
right.
he looked like, Stefan Urkel. But
Yeah.
he didn't have like a fancy shirt on. He just looked.
He was
looked
a strapping
He was a
young
good.
lad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Strapping.
Was he wearing like a black suit?
No, he was not in a suit.
He was wearing a
just
green, like,
now-
flannel something or other.
Okay.
Anyways.
What happened to him? What happened?
Well, he came to me and he's like, all right, so are we going to Eddie's? I'm like, yeah, we're going to head over there. He's like, do I have time to go drop off my stuff in my car? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You know where it is. So just, follow. And if anything changes, keep an eye on Twitter. Like, we'll let you know if we're like going somewhere else, which I doubt. And he's like,
doubt
okay.
it.
Doubt it. And he went off. And then I got an email. The next I heard of it, like, you emailed me. He's like, this kid lost all of his shit.
Yeah,
Can we
he
help
went and
replace
put
it?
all his cool stuff, his PSP, his camera, his MacBook. He put it all into the car. All his Beyond Podcast Beyond skins, the Jello skins.
Yeah.
And somebody broke in and stole all of that.
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I see broken windows all the time where I live, which is right by the office.
We should have warned people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Don't ever-
There's often broken windows around here.
I didn't even think about it. Like, I was just like, I didn't know he had all that stuff with him, first of all. But
Yeah.
Like, you should just left that at the office. Like,
Yeah, well.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a bitch to get back, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I-
no, that's terrible. Like, and that pains me as a gadget fiend. I'm like, oh,
We're working on it. We're trying to get him something. But
Yeah.
fans, if you have, I guess, Jelliskins or
Spare
whatever,
or
yeah,
whatever.
everything, anything you took that you didn't end up using,
If you have a spare camera.
feel free to send it in to Stefan Urkel.
Care of IGN.
Yeah, care of IGN. You just send it to Greg Miller at IGN.com.
Yeah.
625
Just email
2nd
it
Street,
to us.
3rd floor,
Yeah, or
San
if-
Francisco,
or if you
California,
represent a company that makes awesome
94107.
shit, and you
Yes,
want to help to this fund.
exactly. He lost his PSP Go. He was very upset about that.
He lost a MacBook Pro, so if you have a refurbished one or something, like, if any of you are rich assholes out there, and I mean assholes, I mean
jerks.
awesome people.
Yeah, I know.
Email us.
Yeah,
and-
if you've never been to San Francisco before, it's full of people that like to steal things. So that's why I don't own anything.
I'm waiting for the day I get robbed, because I usually carry a bag full of gadgets to and from home.
I know that I'm tempting fate because I read the iPad 2 on the Muni ride home. I'm like, well, fuck it, bring it.
I don't.
Why
pull
not? Let's
any
roll.
of
I got
them out.
nothing to lose.
I pulled my MacBook Air out once, and I was fearful the whole time. I'm like, this is just gonna.
I cradle it very carefully
Yeah.
because I know, like, Damon Hatfield, everybody from IGN GameScoop, he got his phone stolen on the bus. He was on the bus with his DJ equipment in his lap, checking his phone, and somebody grabbed the phone out of his hand and ran off
I've
the
heard
bus.
many
Yeah.
stories about that. Like,
Yeah.
not
Walter-
just Damon's, but
Yeah, Walter
people.
Lopez just got his headphones stolen. They were wrapped around his shoulders, like,
Yeah.
just resting on his shoulders. And he said he felt like something like someone tagged on, like, kind of tugged on his bag, and he didn't think much of it because you get jostled around when you're on mass transit. But like, apparently they had just taken
His little Bose
his
headphones, yeah.
headphones right off of his shoulders.
City's totally lawless. I've
Yeah.
seen a few fistfights on the Muni. I've seen many crazy things, but I've never seen anyone get anything stolen.
that's why I just don't own anything.
I saw purse snatching once by
I only
Union
own like a
Square.
PS3 and a banana.
Are you ever gonna eat the banana?
How old is that banana?
People say, I only own like seriously 5 items in my apartment. So
Well, this has been an uplifting part of the
Yeah.
show.
Let's end
Not
it.
Again,
on wood, by the way. I don't want to
I
get
know.
robbed. Please
Yeah.
don't rob me.
Yeah. I think I might be big enough to where I'm not intimidating, but I
Yeah.
think people understand that I would
I'm tall.
try to hurt
Yeah.
you. I would try.
I
to
was
hurt
thinking
you.
about like when I get in the meeting, there's like only one other dude on there. I'm like thinking like, man,
Could I take him?
like, could I take this guy down? Like,
Yeah.
You start clenching your fist a little bit, like ready to. Like,
You
go.
put the keys in between your fingers like Wolverine. You're all set.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna fuck with you though, specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do have the disadvantage of being overweight, so people are gonna look at me like I could outrun him. But I do think I have been deceptively fast before when adrenaline kicks in. Once we were toilet papering some people's houses and we got chased away and I outran some of my friends, that was impressive. So in short bursts, I'm able to keep it up.
But that was when
Yeah.
you were afraid for your life, not trying to chase something.
If somebody's running away with my $500 iPad, you better goddamn believe
Yeah.
the fear of God will be in my feet.
Yeah.
I only ever been in one fist fight my entire life, and I got knocked out. I wasn't like knocked out cold, but I got my ass beat.
How old are you?
I want to say like
25.
10.
Yeah,
This was like
gonna
2 weeks ago.
We have all-
Yeah, it was,
Burger
it was
joint.
a sleepover, and it's a rubber band gun. It was like me and 3 other kids from grade school.
yeah.
And we were shooting each other with rubber band guns. You know, kids these days. And so we're
kids those days.
we're playing. I think I was playing Magic or something. Magic the Gathering. It's a card game. And I got shot in the back of the ear with a rubber band,
Yeah.
and I turned around and just lost it.
Yeah.
So I started swinging, and this was my best friend at the time. He was like, I don't know, I forget how much he weighed, but he was a lot bigger than me.
Yeah.
He wasn't like fat. He was just bigger.
Yeah.
And then he like pushed me down on the bed, like it was
Oh,
like
God.
his like hand around my throat.
He's got,
he
like-
started wailing away in my face.
Oh,
my God.
And I lost a
Jesus.
tooth. And all his bloody nose. And I started crying, and then he started crying because he was beating me up.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
like my dad
Wow.
came in, and like it was terrible.
And then he beat his ass.
through the
It was,
window.
it was
You were
a
at your
slaughter
house?
fest. No, it was at their house.
But your dad came in.
Well, because like
called him up? Oh, okay.
the parents of that kid
I thought
called.
maybe your dad. I thought maybe your dad was sleeping over.
No.
What the hell's
So I,
going on?
lost, so I lost a tooth and all that, and I got my ass
It
kicked.
was a baby tooth, though, right?
Yeah.
What
Looked at.
What time is it?
Oh, it is 1:32. You
right,
have to
I
run
gotta
off
go.
and see. All right, cool.
All right.
Beyond.
Beyond. Colin's got to go see excellent games.
So, I'd like to call attention to the fact that somebody stole my Echo the Dolphin first-person shooter idea during the podcast Beyond 200.
Uh-huh.
They shouted it out as their own, and I'm kind of upset about that.
Okay.
That was my idea. I debuted it on this podcast. So
why I don't
if
tell anybody
any
anyway.
royalties go to that kid.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Legal
I think that's
action.
how it works.
Yeah.
You shout out an idea and then you own it. Even if you had it, then you shout out before him.
Yeah.
Jonah writes in again. Thanks for all the the well wishes on 200. Make sure you watch it. Yada yada.
Yep.
Jonah writes in, piggybacking off this, says, "Hey guys, I loved the environment of Beyond 200. I was thinking it would be cool if you guys did a 48 state Beyond live tour because everyone would love that and nobody cares about Hawaii and Alaska."
Yeah.
Jonah, we'd love to do that. But for that to happen, you have to tell every one of your friends and family to listen to Podcast Beyond and get them on board. And everybody else should do the same thing. And I don't mean obviously in the blanket goofy way. But if you have friends who like video games, mention the show once in a while.
Yep.
Try to get the more listeners that we get, the more seriously we're taken, the more we're allowed to dedicate to the show.
How much do you think it would cost to do that? $1 million?
It depends how lo-fi we go.
Yeah, I know. Do we have just a bus?
Yeah, bus. You just pull up, open the door inside.
Oh my God, we're a traveling like taco
Yeah.
truck that does
Yeah.
podcasts. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it wouldn't cost that much then if you did that. It'd probably be like a couple $100,000.
I want to do more stuff at the office though, like events like this. I might actually call upon the Beyond community in October for a secret thing, but that'll take place here. But
I think you should do something for like the Vita launch. Maybe everybody comes with their Vitas.
Oh, that's a really cool idea.
yeah, we just hang out and talk about how awesome our Vitas are.
We could all play Mod Nation Racers, which right before it comes back to the PS3.
It's not coming back.
Let's come back to the PS3.
It's over.
Nathan writes in, my question is, do you think games should be sold on the PlayStation Network that could potentially hurt retail games? In episode 199, you told us that the Red Faction brand had died. You could buy the latest Red Faction game in stores in the UK for around £39 and 99 pence, $64.91 at the time of conversion. However, it appeared on the PSN for £57 and 99 pence, $94.19.
What?
Ouch!
Jesus.
I don't know what any of that means.
He's asking, do you think that
Is it cheaper or something?
PSN's games being on the PSN could potentially hurt retail sales?
Yes.
Well, yeah. And Red Faction isn't dead. It's just putting it on the shelf.
But-
But Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo need GameStop still.
Exactly.
So they're sort of riding that fine line of not going over.
That's
Yeah.
why you see PSN games still priced more than their.
Well, and you also see staggered
Brick-and-mortar
kind of
kind of
rollouts. I mean, you don't see like
Yep.
day and date games on PSN or Xbox
Microsoft's
Live.
usually 6 months. And
Yeah.
I think Mass Effect 3 was the only first day and date for PS3.
Yeah.
It was digital. And
No, Warhawk. Warhawk was the same way.
Oh, was
that
it?
was the first one. That was way back in the day too, though. So it's okay that you forgot that.
but that's
'cause
also, okay.
Nobody
okay,
cared.
right.
Let's talk about some Vita stuff.
Yes.
Jamie writes in, this is Jamie X66. I was holding out for a Vita later this year to play during my boring evening shifts at work. But now that it's been delayed, should I buy a PSP to serve me until the Vita appears? Is it worth
No.
the buy? And are PSP games going to be backwards compatible for the Vita? You say no to the... We all say no, right?
Yeah, don't buy a PSP.
Just hold out, Jamie.
Unless you can get one for like $20 or something.
Even then, it's just more garbage you're going to throw away.
It's true.
I mean, if you can come buy one cheaply, I'd say why not. But Yeah, as for backwards compatibility, I think downloadables will be option. I don't think we'll see anything as far as like.
There's not going to be a
UMDs
UMD
and-
transfer. No, you'll have to. I mean, right now, if you were really serious, I mean, I don't know how much they're selling used or new Go's for anymore. They've got
You'd rather just burn your money instead of buying a PSP Go.
Okay, well, I think that's an exaggeration, but
Seriously,
I
burn
like
your
my
money.
Go. I don't use it anymore.
You and 5 other people.
Yeah, you're right. We did. We all enjoy.
But you're also oversaturated with games on a daily basis, whereas this guy, he's looking for some, quick and easy fun at work. So I mean, he might find more enjoyment than most.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You could.
I don't know. You better just buy an iPod Touch and then buy dollar games for that.
I was thinking the same thing.
iPod Touch is like $229.
Yeah, we're talking money investment, sure.
Yeah.
We don't know how much
But
money
he's
he
trying
has.
to kind of stave
He or
himself
she
over.
actually didn't
Yeah.
tell us.
I wouldn't use like a PSP as like a quick fix because then you just got this more garbage piling up. I don't know. Go outside.
On your break at work. I would say. I mean, like honestly, if depending on the money you have to invest, I would say get an iPad. Sit there and read comics, surf the internet, play games. I mean, that's
iPad is replacing my laptop.
Yeah.
I don't even own a laptop yet.
Vizio has a new tablet that's cheaper than the iPad.
Sure, buy some garbage that nobody supports. That's what you want.
I mean, if he's an interim product that he's like trying to kind of entertain himself with as he waits for the Vita.
How expensive is the new tablet?
I think it's $2 or $3.99 or $2.99.
Yeah, see,
I
it's
think
already close
if
enough to
you're
an
spending
iPad.
over $300, I would just splurge.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Enjoy yourself. Treat yourself. You did well.
Yeah.
I bought a $1,000 suit, just so you know.
How's that working out for you? Did you wear it
I
yet?
pick it up Friday.
Okay,
Why-
and is it like
why did you-
tailored?
It's tailored.
Why did you buy it?
So I need to buy a new suit. Went to Hugo Boss. Figured I'd just try on some suits.
Why do you need a suit?
Because the only other suit I own is kind of crappy. I want
How
like a
often
nice.
do you wear a suit?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know, but when I do, I want to have a good suit.
I have an
Jim
awesome
wears
suit.
suits
It's
more
like
than-
$400.
Where'd you get that?
Express.
Oh, okay.
Tried it on. I was like, I'm gonna buy this, and then
Then you looked at the tag.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it.
Where'd you get it?
Hugo Boss.
You went to a Hugo Boss store.
Yep.
You fancy
the one at
motherfucker.
the Westfield Mall. What's great is there's a woman there who's helping me out. She's
Yeah.
like, I think this looks good on you. I was like, okay.
Was she just trying to get a commission?
I don't
you think? Okay.
I didn't buy shoes though, so I still gotta buy shoes.
Suit
Buy some
salesmen are fucking intense, dude. Like they'll be like, "Oh, this fits you very, very well," and like they'll put it on you. And
I really
like,
talk about how awesome I am, but I looked really good in the suit when I was wearing it.
I like suits. I like wearing suits.
I could go for some suits.
Yeah.
This is like a legit
Let's go
suit.
out and
though.
wear suits sometime, Greg.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I have to buy $1,000 one? Can I just wear that blazer and a
just wear
tie?
whatever.
Can I wear my suit?
Yeah.
Let's come to work in suits one day.
No.
Just
If you would
say-
ever get on board with one of our steak bets, you could be involved with that, and then there you go.
Well, I'm always on your side, so
okay.
I mean, like,
I'm gonna be eating
I
well
think-
here.
Ronald writes into beyond@ign.com. He says, "Do you think Catherine's commercial success is due to the quality of the game, or would you say it's because of its sexual nature? Also, do you think Atlas Games will have more success in the future due to Catherine?"
I think it has nothing to do with the sexual nature of the
Agreed.
game. I think Atlas Games, if you look over the history, have sold around what Catherine sold. There's just a dedicated hardcore fan base for all Atlas Games, and we'll buy them. I think the good reviews also helped for that as well.
I think the fact that it's a breath of fresh air, right? It's not another shooter. It's not another sports game. It's not, it's something different, right? It's this crazy puzzler with all this like weird relationship stuff. That's interesting.
And it's also multi-platform, which
And
Atlas doesn't typically do tons of
Very
multi-platform
true. Very,
stuff.
very true.
I have yet to play it. I hear it's frustratingly difficult, though.
That's true as well.
I say I said this on the Second Opinions. If you like the demo, buy the game. If you don't like the demo, don't buy the game.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm enjoying
I'll have
it.
to download the demo.
But I found that I have to be in a mood to play it. Like I was playing it before Comic-Con, right? And I sat down basically in one day and played through night 5, got to that boss, and then I went to Comic-Con, and then I had Beyond 200 and stuff. So I finally settled back in trying to play it this last weekend, and I was exhausted and I was frustrated and I couldn't beat the boss 5 because I was so rusty, and I eventually got through it. But then I was like, I'm done for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like 200,000 copies, which is what Atlas US announced shipped in North America.
Yeah.
Is very good for them because they're a niche publisher.
Niche.
They basically make everything they sell, so they don't have like tons of leftover.
Not a lot of
stock.
overhead.
Yeah. I mean, 200,000 for EA is not very good.
Of course, yeah.
But for Atlas, that's great. And I mean, it sold 150,000 more copies than Shadows of the Damned did. So
Yikes.
actually 165,000. Yeah.
Taylor writes into beyond@ign.com. He says, "Here's my question: do you think Heavy Rain will ever get more DLC?"
Nope.
I haven't tried the Taxidermist yet, but
Nope.
why would it stop after just one entry? Here's the thing, Taylor.
They already announced why they stopped working on it because of the Move version, right?
Is that why they stopped working on
I
DLC?
recall correctly, if you go back, Sony wanted them to make the Move version of Heavy Rain, and
Yeah.
they stopped working on DLC for that.
Gotcha.
I recall correctly.
Yeah, I mean, well, here the thing about the taxidermist, which you should buy. I liked it a lot when I played it because it's different. It's different than Heavy Rain. But here's the thing you have to understand before you get into that is that is not really DLC. That's the demo they had Roper play the first time he ever saw the game. That's old content. That's why one of the characters in the game, Scott Shelby, is in there as a different character. Like he's the same actor. They just used him as this taxidermist dude. Madison Page is still there. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's basically like non-canon kind of, you know what I mean? It's just something happening. So the voices aren't really the same either. Like they're different.
How much is this?
Connotations. Jeez, I don't remember anymore. I mean, it came out a while ago. We're talking a long time ago.
So is it like $5?
Maybe.
I don't know. It's too much. Too much.
I enjoyed the case.
For a single chapter of Heavy Rain.
Well, there's different endings again.
Nope.
If you not enough.
Well, the game wasn't a huge commercial success, was it?
It's all over 1 million copies.
It was.
I think it might even
critically
done 2 million.
Critically acclaimed.
But I mean, if you look at like some of the most popular franchises, even now, like it's hard to get like long-term, like extended schedules for DLC.
Well, DLC is a failure anyway.
It's hard to
With the exception of Call of Duty.
Yeah. Maurice writes in. He was at Beyond 200. He says, the only thing I can think to say that was negative about the experience, he wrote a giant email about how happy he was and everything else. He says that I was planning to buy you guys, Greg, Ryan, and Colin, a drink at the bar. And I asked Ryan at first, and he declined. So I figured the other guys would say no, and so I didn't ask. I just wanted to return a friendly gesture for everything you guys gave us on that day, but I'm sure he had his reasons. Yes, Maurice, we all had our reasons on why I tried my best to reject free booze from all you. We were expensing it. We had a credit card down, so there was no sense for all these people who paid for flights and cars and gas and everything else to come to us and try to buy us stuff when we can just say, hey, Rupert Murdoch, check this one off the list.
And I don't know about you guys, but I'd never turned down a free. Like I never.
If it's already been poured, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. Like if people give me a free drink, like I have to drink it. So like I will get unnecessarily drunk.
That's true as well.
So
if you ask, that's the problem. I try to keep myself paced.
Yeah.
Ben from Maine writes in. Jim.
Maine.
Maine.
They have good crab up there, I think.
I think lobster. Maine lobster. That's
Whatever.
I'm sure the crab's fine too.
Oh, that's right. Geddes is moving to Rhode Island, not Maine.
Correct.
It's close to Maine, though.
Not really.
Not really, yeah. Maine's way the hell up there, dude.
It's like
I had a friend who I worked with after graduating Mizzou that I met. He was already working the paper when I got there. He's from Maine originally. He went to Mizzou as well. First day of class, professor says, who's the farthest person away? And they all do that thing where they slowly lower their hand. He was the last one standing. And he goes, where are you from? And he goes, I'm from Maine. And the professor walked up this huge lecture hall, asked him to stand up, shook his hand, and said, welcome to America. I thought that was great. Ben from Maine writes, and he says, I already own Limbo on 360, yet when it was released on PS3, I bought it again. I didn't do this for any practical reason. I simply did it because I wanted to play the game I love on a console I love. It just brings the experience home for me that much more. Am I nuts?
You're nuts.
Really? Yeah. I don't think so. I bought Limbo again. I had beaten it on 360. I don't know when I'm going to play it again on PS3. I threw the cash their way. So why not?
I'm gonna buy like 3 different versions of Battlefield 3. So I mean, I can't really.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Why?
I want to play it on PC and I want to play it on consoles.
Well, I mean, for that though, there's different. The communities for those games are very different per platform.
Yeah, but
Limbo
it's
is
still
just
$60 a pop.
Well, now that you've said this, I'm sure they'll just.
Anyone wondering, Dark Souls buy on PS3 because everyone will be playing on PS3, so there'll be more people to play.
Are there going to be more messages to leave?
I don't know.
Okay. Staying with the. The international vibe here of people asking about downloadable games.
Yep.
Beyond,
says
Maxim Beckers from Belgium. I was just wondering if Bastion was coming to the PS3 anytime soon.
Next year.
That's not soon.
It'll be out next year.
It was just announced for PC, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Well, that wasn't like a giant announcement. They just announced a release date. They knew they were working on that.
Okay.
I interviewed these guys at pre-E3 Judges Week when I disappeared for a long time, and one of my questions was, "What's the deal with PS3?" And their response was, "If it sold well on these two platforms, then they consider going."
Anything that's usually the Summer of Arcade usually is exclusive for a year.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched it, the Bastion in real life video is one of my favorite things we've done.
It's okay.
Totally Google it.
I'm not saying yeah. That's what I said.
You hate everything.
I think it's okay.
You are just
I
crazy.
bought a $1,000 suit.
Yeah, but you got tricked into that.
I didn't get tricked.
All right.
She's a nice girl.
Sales league.
I'm gonna wrap this one up.
Give me your card.
Kurt Lewin writes in. He says, "Beyond, could you please give a mighty beyond to all the podcast Beyond listeners in the UK who have suffered in the UK riots? Thanks for the awesome podcast that keeps me and many other UK listeners smiling throughout this worrying time." Of course, Kurt.
That's pretty crazy what's going on over there.
Yeah.
I remember I read it on Monday, but I was like, oh, there's this little riot going on. It's still going, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh at it, but that's just a funny way to set it up. Of course, yes, everybody over there in the United Kingdom, please stay safe.
Yeah, I actually did a call with somebody over in the UK earlier, and like he's like, I'm sorry, dude, I gotta get out of here. Like, if you know, as they say, you know, the worst shit happens at night, so I'm gonna get out of here. Like, I have to get home. Like, he had to leave his office and
That's
go
crazy,
home.
man.
I was like, wow, dude.
Everybody
like,
stay safe.
Yeah, please
Keep your valuables locked down.
Yeah,
Protect your
and-
family.
Oh man, there's
Bam.
this really horrible video of like this guy who like got injured somehow, like he broke his nose or something. So he's on the ground and like people were trying to help him up, and like and he's wearing a backpack, and like as people are helping him up, like this dude just walks up and just starts like casually sifting through, like unzipping his backpack and like just takes stuff out of his bag and walks away, and nobody stopped him. Get your shit together, guys. Punch people like that.
That's bad news.
Yeah.
A palate cleanser, though, comes from Francisco. He writes in and says, I was wondering if you guys could do a little shout out to my girlfriend, Michelle. We've been dating for a year now. She puts up with my gaming habits and has even succumbed to gaming herself. She also listens to the show with me. Michelle, I love you. Here's to many more years together. Beyond, Francisco and Michelle. So there, that was your palate
Love
cleanser.
is in the
That
air.
was very sweet, wasn't it?
It's very romantic in here now.
All right, and one final shout out here. My name is Michael, a.k.a. Wasted Kitten. I wanted to publicly give an enormous special thank you to Ryan and Danny for allowing the opportunity to work on The World Is Saved. And another thank you to Panda Musk, Ben, Sam, and my colleagues and new friends from this video. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you missed that video, you have to go see it.
Incredible.
Go to youtube.com/IGN. You can watch The World Is Saved music video there.
Buy it on iTunes.
Exactly. Go to iTunes. You can search The World Is Saved, buy it there. While you're at the YouTube channel, they'll watch Beyond 200 as well.
Yeah.
You can
Get
also
some
watch
views up
my
there.
Chobot date videos as well.
You should. If you have not watched the Jim Reilly Chobot dates, you need to watch
Every
those.
once in a while I go and there's still like new comments being posted.
That's awesome.
It's
I'm
like
glad.
it's a year
I'm glad
old.
that thing has a giant.
I think in total all the videos combined is nearly 200,000 views.
Do you just look at it and think back fondly?
No.
You're just like, those were
No.
the days.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Podcast Beyond 201. Remember to be part of the show. Emails at beyond@ign.com. Remember, you can also follow everyone on Twitter. IGN is IGN. I'm Game Over Greggy. Colin is No Taxation. Ryan Clements, who wasn't here today, is Puam Cider. Jim Reilly is Jim Reilly. Scott Lowe is Scott Lowe.
Yeah.
Those are the simple ones, which I like quite a bit.
Yeah.
I registered my Twitter account like 4 years ago.
That was awesome.
And I
Good
never
thinking.
used it till like maybe a year ago.
Now
or whatever.
paid off.
Yep.
Speaking of social media stuff, for years people have been yelling at me because I don't accept friend requests on Facebook. And of course, the real reason was because Facebook maxed out. I couldn't add any more people. I finally converted my Facebook page to a fan page.
Yep.
So facebook.com/GameOverGreggy, GRGGY.
I thought about doing that a couple months ago. I didn't care. So I actually just made my own Facebook fan page just to play around with it. So you can also like me on there if you find me.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not gonna. I figure I'm not that popular where I can make my own. Convert. Into,
Can I plug Tech Fetish one more
Please
time?
do.
If you'd like to hear more kind of in-depth hardware discussions about the entire spectrum of consumer products and technology, including gaming and smartphone technology, that sort of thing, check out Tech Fetish. You can email questions and learn more about the podcast at techfetish@ign.com.
There you go.
Can I plug my podcast?
Yeah. When is the Jim Riley show going to start?
The Riley Factor, and it's never gonna.
Didn't you started a Google call for...
Yeah, the ball was in motion, and then the ball stopped moving.
Oh,
You should
that
just
sucks.
call him. You should just have
No,
the Reilly
we'll
factor.
That's actually another good idea.
Yeah.
You should totally do stuff like that. All right, that's the show. As you know, everybody, when we end Beyond, we end it with a listener-submitted song. Today, listener Damon Hatfield has submitted a song.
I think I know that guy.
Yeah, you might have heard of
Yeah.
Damon once or twice. We're going to play Forget I Said Anything. It's a new single from Damon off of his Monster-Zero. That's Monster-the numeral 0. Monster Zero. It's, DJ's, or Damon's performing name. When he sings, he does that. When he just does techno stuff, like the Color Beam album on iTunes, that's under Damon Hatfield. And then when he DJs, he's Damon Zero. Or he's Dame, whatever, it's confusing. But this is Damon Hatfield, everybody.
The
for
artist
having me on.
formerly known as Damon.
Go buy it on
Thanks
iTunes.
for having me on, Greg.
Thanks for being on, Jim.
Yeah.
Scott Lowe, thank you as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You know what, everybody? Beyond.
Beyond.
Beyond.